got it.
Champagne and show jumping is exactly how we like it.
Whoa, it's a good workout. Yulia is totally in her zone.
Horse, slap it on the butt.
It's art. It really is special.
So few people know about it.
Oh my God, what's that? What's that flavor? A very fun show today with you. Bring it with you. Hello, everyone. Today's guest is a world-class equestrian who dedicated her life to understanding what makes horses and people perform at their best. Yulia Brat was representing her country by age 10 and has actually a Ph.D. in physiology of sport horses. You are going to learn about her incredible journey from Russia to founding YB Equestrian Training Center in Florida, which I went to. And I hope you enjoyed this ride. And we are going to bake a carrot cake to celebrate Yulia's love of horses. Because what do horses love? Horse carrots. You guessed it. Welcome, Yulia.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a true pleasure to be here.
Likewise, I'm so happy that you're here. And before we continue, let's have a look at Yulia in action. To continue welcoming Yulia, I will celebrate you and your love of horses with not just carrots, but some champagne as well.
Yay!
So let's pop this bottle, as I usually do. I'm very excited. And we'll chat about your adventures. There we go. This is always, it's always serious. It's you never know with this thing where it's gonna take us. So let's pop this bottle. Here we go. Whee! We got it. We got it right.
What a mood.
We're starting this mood right. So cheers again.
Cheers, darling.
And I'm very happy to have you here, and thank you everyone for watching. That is going to be a very fun show today with you.
I actually have a shirt that says champagne and show jumping. Show jumping is a sport that I'm teaching, like when the horse jump over the big jumps. And champagne and show jumping is exactly how we like it. So
let's cheer to that.
Cheers.
Champagne and show jumping. So Yulia, when did your love affair for horses begin?
Forever ago, as long as I can remember. It started really early for me, and I'm one of those lucky people who discovered their destiny, I would say. Basically, the first thing in my life, I tried a couple other sports, and then life taken me to the barn, and I've been there ever since, every single day.
That's a beautiful thing, because when you follow your passion from such a young age, a lot of times it's so hard to figure out what's your calling?
Yeah.
And for you, it was so obvious.
Yeah,
I
had
that.
no doubt.
So you were 6 years old, right, when you started? And as I remember, you started training because you had scoliosis. Mm-hmm. And your father did this research and found out that you can actually treat your scoliosis by horseback riding. Is that right? Did you really treat it?
I absolutely did. I did.
Yeah, I mean, you are perfect, but I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, no,
I just wonder how it really works.
The way it works, what I always tell parents that are thinking to put their children in horse riding, make sure that the trainer is really very present, because when the child is young and the bone structure of the spine and everything is still like fragile and still in the process of forming,
right.
If the trainer is neglectful, if the trainer is not really telling your kid, straighten up, sit straight, don't slouch, then it's a lot of shaking. And when like the horse is running, a lot of shaking is happening.
It could be an opposite effect.
It could be an opposite effect.
I see. So that is why you can actually heal if you have a problem, or you could damage if you're not focused on the proper posture.
That's correct.
That's
but in general, the movement of the horse is extremely beneficial for a lot of parts of human's body. That's why for special needs disabled people, it's used a lot because of that vibration and movement that the horse's body translates to the rider's body. So in general, many more muscles are involved than people can imagine. Your core, your back, your hands, your legs, for sure, all of it. And then that muscle core will keep the spine and the bones in the position that trainer supposed to be making sure we want, which is straightness and good posture. That's why horse riders usually have
a
good posture.
beautiful posture.
Yeah.
And I met Yulia. I keep switching. Sorry about that. I met Yulia at a horseback riding school where she has her YB Equestrian school, and it was a very special thing for me to watch because I brought my daughter and she did the class with you, and I just fell in love with you because I saw how professional and impeccable trainer you are, how knowledgeable you are. And talking about knowledge, you have 3 educations. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, my first education was horse breeding in agricultural university, and then later on I continued my educating through a second professional training horses and training riders. So there was much more of psychology in that because, as I always say, when you start horse riding, in the beginning it's 80% physical and 20% mental, 20% psychology. But then when you advance through your riding, it becomes only 20% physical and 80% psychology. There is a psychology of the horse and there is a psychology of the rider, and me as a trainer, each of them wakes up a different person every day. And so I come to the lesson and I have to evaluate how is this horse feeling today, how is this person feeling
Moody.
today.
They're all moody.
Oh, they're all moody.
So the horses have moods as well.
Oh yeah,
and every single one of them must be different.
absolutely.
Then, right?
And then some of them are female horses, which is called mares, and they have many more moods.
Oh God. Women are complicated now. Female horses must be even more complicated. Oh God, that's a tough one. This is so interesting. How did you get into the psychology? It's something so I think interesting and unique. And how did you get so deep into that?
Mostly by practice. The more you spend time with them, the more you realize that just the technique, just the choreography of the process can only get you to a certain length. And then at some point, all the unexpected starts happening. And that's when you need to not only guess, okay, when my horse will see a bird on the right, it's going to move left. No, this horse's psychology is to freeze when it's scared, so it will stop. This other horse's psychology is to run away, so it will shoot forward. Or this other horse's psychology is to jump sideways. So it's a lot that we need to be able to predict as well when we ride them.
That was my experience. I had a bad first experience. My horse was a young, new horse, and we were taking a stroll in the forest.
A trail ride?
Yeah, trail ride, and the old horse kicked my young horse in the butt, and it started running to his life. And I was so scared, and that's where my fear of horses began, because they just told me to do this and to do that, and that's what I learned, and I just was holding not to fall, and I luckily didn't fall, but I felt like, my whole life in front of me was so scary. And that's it. That was my first and last experience with horses.
Yeah, and I hate to hear it. And I mean, in your case, it was no one's fault.
No.
Except for the person who was supposed to take care of other horse not getting too close to your horse. But that was between a horse, and it happens. What I hate even more is many people come with a similar fear because some trainer, someone who was supposed to take care and make sure that you have a good first experience, they just put you on a horse, slap it on the butt, and you go learn to ride in a forest between the trees.
I just was happy I was alive.
Yeah.
So what was the biggest competition you competed in?
The biggest competition for me it was quite recent.
Really?
And yeah, because I'm growing through levels. I started in Russia. I learned everything I could back in Russia. Then I traveled the world with this lifestyle and profession of mine. and I have some experience in many countries of the world. Then when I moved here, it was California, tremendous experience in California. But we are so close to the creme de la creme location for equestrian world. It's called Wellington. It's close by Palm Beach, and it's called winter equestrian capital of the world, because when everywhere else in the world it's winter with the snow and nasty weather, here it's the most beautiful weather. We have about 20,000 horses flying in from all over the world to be here between November and March. Yeah, the best riders in the world, the best trainers, the best people to take care of horses. Each horse flying in has about 5-6 people to take care of it. It's a huge industry. And I was seeing this location online on Eurosport channel since I was like 6 years old, and finally life brought me right here. And last year I got to compete in a big international arena. The biggest competition happens on Saturday night, and the VIP zone is beautiful, and there are lights like here, like spotlights on everything through the sunset. And I was very grateful to my horse to be a warrior, to be there with me, because him and I, we started from very simple things, and we grew together. I knew more than he knew, but he was so talented and so brave. And for him to enter this big arena, it was such a moment for me.
That is so special. I had a question because of what you said. So horses do have talents?
Absolutely, absolutely. At the level of show jumping, so show jumping is when horses jump the jumps. This is my main discipline. I love everything horsey existing, everything that has a horse in it, or even a donkey.
Thing, yeah.
Bring it. Yeah, but jumping the jumps for me is flying. I'm an air sign. I'm an Aquarius, which I'm an air sign, and my kind of flying is to fly on top of the horse.
It's a feeling of freedom, right?
Freedom.
I love that feeling on the bicycle. When I ride my bicycle, it just feels that freedom. It's just so, I cannot even imagine how beautiful it's on the horse.
Yeah, with an animal, with a second soul who can share the same feeling with you. And of course, that when we go into really high jumps, not everybody can do it. Like any professional sport is not for, so many horses can jump small, and only few horses have enough talent to go higher. And aside from talent, they need to have psychology again, and they need to have a heart. And when you find that horse that fights for you, that you feel really united with, that's that sensation that we're seeking. That's a sensation that takes so many years to develop for you as a rider to be able to feel it. And with this specific horse, it doesn't happen over one day.
That is so interesting that you need to develop that connection and the sensation, and it's just so special. We never think about these things, right? We just see this wonderful equestrians riding, but there's so much more that goes into it.
Yeah.
Including psychology and a lot of practice that you come into here, that your role right now, you are such a great trainer. I really watched the way she trains. It's art. It really is special. I just was blown away. I saw how everything comes easy to your client. And that's why I'm so glad that you have your business, why the equestrian school, that you could find Yulia. Do you have a website? Yeah, so we will have all the information for you where you can find her, because if you want a great trainer who has soul and who knows how to connect you and the horse together, she is here for you. And I want to start cooking our carrot cake. So of course I want to ask Yulia what we're gonna make. She said, let's make something with carrots, because what horses love? They love carrots. Let's make a carrot cake, and I really love that idea. I'm not the baker, but this carrot cake is very, very special because it's not your basic carrot cake. It has a lot of interesting components, flavors, and textures. So let's begin here. I already have the carrots shredded and everything, and don't forget to scan that QR code. You will have all the information there. So we will start by making our batter, right?
Yes,
so we have the 4 eggs. We'll start with wet ingredients first, and then we have the muscovado sugar. This type of sugar is really great for carrot cake. Why I chose this sugar? Because it has the toffee-like, caramel-like flavor and texture like molasses that will make the carrot cake moist and very, very flavorful. But we also mix in it with some coconut sugar as well. I also love coconut sugar because you don't want to put too much of this type of sugar. It's a different texture. It's pretty wet, clumpy, and very like molasses-like. So it's just for us to give us some of that flavor and texture. But at the same time, we want to add a regular sugar. So we have the coconut sugar here.
That is another ingredient that horses totally love. To sweeten their food, we use molasses.
And you do?
Yes, we do.
See that? I didn't know, but it all comes, together here. Perfect. So we mix in these few ingredients, and then we will add the spices. I have here nutmeg and cinnamon. It smells already so delicious. All of these beautiful, wonderful ingredients create so many aromas. Now it's already smelling like carrot cake, and we're not there yet.
Cinnamon is an ingredient from my childhood. My mom was eating a lot of cinnamon buns when she was pregnant.
Oh, so
and I'm addicted for life. So I'm in heaven right now.
Good. We have olive oil instead of any other type of fat. I'm using olive oil because I love olive oil cakes. I think they create a really nice flavor and texture for the cakes instead of butter or any other oil. Also, it's good for you, olive oil. Now we will add our flour. That try to add by not all at the same time, so we could avoid the clumps, and just keep mixing and making sure all the clumps are gone. We're gonna get a little messy no matter what. Well, you got this beautiful leather jumpsuit that I love, that it also kind of represents the style, and I love your horseshoe necklace and the horse bracelet. Yulia is totally in her zone and vibe, and I love that.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's a lifestyle.
awesome.
It makes me feel rooted.
Yes.
And getting messy makes me feel rooted too.
Usually it's more messy, right? To be around horses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To look come in looking pretty like you and leave looking pretty like you, but with some horse kisses and actual results of work on you.
I love that. It's just so cute. When my daughter took the class with you, she said, "Oh, I'm gonna smell like horses as soon as we finish. So let me wear something that I can be okay with." Is that right? Usually, but no, she didn't. Your horses are so clean.
Yeah,
It's
our barn is managed amazingly.
Very, very clean.
We have
it's
a great team.
Beautiful, gorgeous barn, and it's like 30-40 minutes from here, so it's very convenient to get to you.
We have a lot of people driving all the way from Miami. For some of them, it's even an hour and a half. But the combination of care for horses, teaching style, just the atmosphere of the place, it's worth it for people. They tried other places and they end up coming to us. And it's very heartwarming to see all those people there.
Yeah, of course. We have the bacon powder, baking soda, and some sea salt here in the mixture. What if someone wants to start this journey, either it's a kid or an adult, what's your advice? How they can all begin and have that confidence that, things are going to go well? Because there is some fear involved, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, plenty. Yeah. And they cannot have a confidence. It's really a question. As in anything you do, yoga, Pilates, pole dancing, you need to find your teacher. Like you need to be, People that come to a wrong teacher often would be like, oh, I didn't like it, and that's it. And maybe that's not the case. So do your research, reviews, and make sure, look in the face of that person, make sure that you click, and if something didn't go up to your likings, which unfortunately is the case, don't give up on the whole idea altogether.
Right, exactly.
Maybe you need to try a few different teachers so you can find what is that other people get really addicted to. It's a great point that you made that people can start this in a very adult age as well. I had a couple of people over 60 years old that finally had both time and money, and they came in and they like teach us. And not only I taught them, but we bought a horse for each of them, and they're happy horse owners ever since. And
Yeah, I think it's so. I started actually taking padel classes. The reason that you also mentioned in adult ages, it's so important to try something new because you keep your brain useful, because you're doing something completely out of your comfort zone, completely new that you never experienced, and that teaches your body through your brain how to react and how to do this completely new thing, and that develops you in a completely different way.
Absolutely.
And keeps you really healthy. It's so great thing to do. Now we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients, as we have raisins, pecans, and look at this. If you've never seen how pecans look in a shell, this is how they look. How cool is that? You could find them in many stores, but we usually are lazy to crack them open. But you know, sometimes I like challenges. I have toasted and chopped pecans here, some raisins, and I have the carrots. Yulia, can you pass me those? So we will fold this in and throw these carrots into it. We need about 2 cups, but again, you have the QR code there to scan this recipe. That's enough.
that's enough.
That's enough.
How
It's
many
a little
carrots
extra.
are here?
Probably 4 or 6. So, you know, of course, I already made the carrot cake because we don't have time on the air to bake it. But it's not only the bacon. So what we do after this, and I'm gonna also add something here special, which is a secret ingredient that makes this carrot cake a little bit more unique than any others, is rosemary. So rosemary, you would probably not think of adding to carrot cake, but I think it just adds that mysterious, delicious flavor. I love rosemary so much, so we're gonna chop it up and just throw it in there. It's the smell of rosemary and the connection with carrots and molasses flavors. It's just gonna make the carrot cake much more unique and special. So I'm just gonna chop it and add into our beautiful carrot cake. And it releases all of these oils when I chop it, and creates beautiful aroma. You don't need a lot of it. You could, you know, get a couple of spoons or more or less, how much you feel like it's right for you. And another thing about the batter, so you should refrigerate it for at least 2 hours. So the reason you do that, when the flour activates and it becomes very fluffy, and the cake and the carrots also combine with all the batter, and it just becomes a very, very moist cake that way. So it's really great and easy. You just refrigerate it for 2 hours and then you bake it, and that's how it is. So we're gonna put this on the side for now, and we will finish later our carrot cake with our delicious frosting. And I have here a couple of textures. This is gonna go, so yeah, let me show you before. Yeah, we'll put this, I will actually show how to, you know, to put it in the pan and how to finish it, but we will not bake it because, as I said, we wouldn't have time. So you also have an extensive experience in organizing events. Tell me a little bit, because you've been doing international events with horses. It's so interesting.
It was a turn of destiny on me. I was teaching people horse riding, and I was training horses how to like people, because that also takes work. You know, they're not born with that.
Right. They also have to like you.
Yeah, and then at some point in the evenings, I was helping at the event organizing company, as in like, please come here to your right, to the left. And then they hired me as a manager, and I started organizing regular events, and then later weddings. And then one day in my life, those two passions combined, and I was hired as a head of a company to organize international horse shows all over Eastern Europe. And that was beautiful 3 years of my life, because in collaboration with national federation of each country, we were putting together the most spectacular events, and we were really on a mission of promoting the sport of horse riding and show jumping on TV. We were working with the national television, and we were bringing buses of children so they get to see it and they get to feel the energy of it, because it's like so few people know about it, and at the same time it's such a huge industry as well, so we were trying to share it as much as we could, and those were beautiful times. Yeah,
that's so special. Yeah, my friend's daughter, she's actually takes classes, and she's performs and competes. And now my friend Layla, she's amazing. She's from Argentina. She also is a professional equestrian. I should introduce you to. She's here. She's incredible. Yeah. So I think it's such a gracious, beautiful sport, and for people and for horses, it's just like this connection is just so wonderful. What is something really unusual about horses that people don't know?
Oh, so much.
Give me something.
I'm the right person to ask. So something unusual that people don't know about is, for example, that horse's heart is producing the vibration that is giving us humans the same feeling as when we get a hug.
Really?
Yeah, it produces oxytocin in us, and that's why many people want to come back for more, because you leave the barn and you feel like you've been hugged for a long time.
This is so interesting.
It is. And another part of all this is that the horse is a very large animal. It's very kind most of the time, but it's very large. So whenever you're around the horse, you need to make sure that it doesn't step on you, it doesn't hit you, it doesn't bite you occasionally. You really have to be very present. And for many people, it's a rare occasion. So when you come to the barn and you spend 1-2 hours with your horse, you don't think about your bad thoughts, what's going on at home, what's going on at work, and everything. And so that gives you time to recharge. I've noticed it the most when I was working at the special needs riding center, and they would bring buses of foster kids. And the life of a foster child is no joke. They're constantly alert. It's so much bad stuff going on for them. And they would come out of the bus and they'll be like, horse, poop, smell, blah. 2 hours later, they would leave like such relaxed and different children,
That's why there's a horse therapy.
Yeah,
that's something. It's a thing, right?
I'm getting very attracted to that, honestly. I totally see myself in the future on top of training riders and horses to be doing therapy. I have this little idea about really stepping into treating post-traumatic disorders through horses. That's something that I can see myself doing.
I think nature in general, right? The feeling of the forest or the ocean, and same animals like dolphins and like horses brings something so peaceful and so powerful and so special, as you said, just like a hug.
Yeah.
It is something very comforting and calming that comes with those beautiful, beautiful creatures. This is so special.
And with the horses, you not only have an option to ride them, you can groom them, you can brush them, you can lead them with you, and it all gives you the same vibration, same feeling. Riding is one part of it. It's beautiful, but when I started my school here in Florida, I started offering the longer 2-hour-long sessions when for the first hour you just get to know the horse. And so many people like you who had a trail riding experience in the past, they're like, this makes so much sense, because you come and they just put you on top of the horse and you don't get to look it in the eyes. You don't get to know who it is. Like, now I'm sitting on top of it and there is no way down, realistically. You cannot just jump.
It's also so scary because you're so high on top of the horse. Yeah. Like, oh my God, it's far to fall. Although it's not, but it is.
So for many people, taking those sessions about psychology of the horse and learning the body language, it's a lot of body language.
I remember when we came to you that day, first you introduced my daughter and my friend to the horse, let it look into the eyes, feel it, and then went on a horse, and it makes a completely different. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, because horse also needs to know who is this person, that is someone new. And it's I'm sure you've seen those videos of the British security on the horse. When they come, the people are just come and start touching, and the horse bites, and it's angry horse. But people make that mistake, right? By coming into the horse that is trained differently, and it's always crazy.
Correct.
But it's their fault, mistake that they do that, right? The people.
Yes, I mean, given that it's a police horse, probably it's not meant to be touched.
Friendly.
Or I don't think anybody touches police dogs right away. You know?
Yeah, it's a good point.
People have a good sense of self-preservation there, but with a horse they're so relaxed, so it's just a horse. No, yeah, they can be naughty, and maybe they have to be if it's their job, you know, to protect. Yes. So when you come to a new riding school, let's say if you're just starting, you should feel that the horse that was given to you feels safe, okay? If it's not inside of you, but if you see that the horse is too much, maybe it's too much of a step away. Yeah, because some
usually we have the gut feeling. If you feel like that's maybe not your horse, or the horse is not in mood, which is, as you said, they are moody.
Absolutely. Well, and there are different horses for different people. So for beginners, those horses like the one we gave to your daughter, extremely forgiving, super safe. The horse loves her job to be a mamacita and the first teacher, you know,
a babysitter.
Yes,
yes.
Cute. And then when you advance, we're offering you more interesting horses. And then when you learn the psychology and the choreography of riding, then you can start riding more powerful horses.
And how long do you need to get to this kind of point? How, if you practice, how many times a week, how many years?
I always say that 1 time a week is a good leisure, like having fun schedule. 2 times a week you will start progressing because it's enough repetition for your muscle memory to start catching up. If you really want to learn, you need to do 3 times a week. Most our people who are hooked, and we work a lot with people who either already have their own horses or about ready to buy their own horses, most of them come 4, 5, 6 times a week.
And you have to realize that it's a serious physical job. I saw how you have to use your whole body, all your muscles, to be able to control the horse. It's actually a lot goes into physically as well.
If you do it correctly, yes. If you want to learn to do it correctly.
I saw that. I was like, whoa, it's a good workout. That's why she's in great shape, of course.
You.
So let me show you how I'm gonna do the batter. So you could use any pan that you want, or a baking pan. You could use also a rectangular one. I'm using this one because I don't really have a smaller size, baking pan, because I want it to be a little thicker. I like that, it's going to be a nice fluffy shape. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use also parchment paper. Sorry for this noise. So now we're gonna, maybe you could help me.
Sure.
To pour this here. Yeah. Yes. Maybe hold it. Okay. And I'll just pour. So a little teamwork. You're used to that, and I'm used to that.
I'm so not used to this, just standing here and not doing anything.
You are doing. This is a lot of work. So here we go. It smells incredible. And I love that we are using different textures of the carrots. I'll show you what I mean by that. So here our batter is ready. And I have this beautiful carrots on the side here. So I'm gonna take some and add honey. Some honey.
Oh, wow.
And some olive oil. We will mix this together, and it's gonna go on top of the carrot cake as an extra layer, which will, the honey and the olive oil will make sure it will roast nicely, and we could put it together. Yulia?
Yes.
You like to help me? Just maybe not. Actually, this is oily. But keep your hands clean. So just throw them on top like that, and it's gonna create a beautiful layer. Although we're still gonna use frosting, but if you, for example, don't like frosting, it's already kind of decorated for you. But if you want to do frosting, you see here, I have this beautiful dehydrated carrots that yesterday I was creative. Like, let me think how I want to decorate this beautiful carrot cake. So I decided to dehydrate some of those carrots. I used mandolin to cut it, which makes it a perfect cut. And that's it. Look how beautiful this looks. And since I told you it's better to keep it in the fridge for 2 hours, I still can put it in the fridge and let it rest. And I'll show you the final product now.
Magic.
How it looks when it's ready. This thing is heavy.
Yeah.
Look how beautiful the carrot cake looks like, and it smells incredible. Yeah. So now we will make our delicious frosting.
Oh, it does smell incredible.
It smells good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just put it here.
Okay.
So let's make the frosting. So another thing about the frosting, I decided to go a little bit, you know, more creative. So I have cream cheese and I have also mascarpone, which I love. So we will mix those together. And I love anything citrusy, so we're gonna add some lemon zest into our mixture here. And also I have a really nice sugar from Japan. This is wasanbon sugar, which is a very mild, not very sweet type of sugar. It's the finest sugar you can find, and I brought it from Japan, and I'm really excited that I'm using it for my first time here today. So we're gonna add that sugar. And another thing I brought from Japan is the yuzu juice, and it's gonna give that something, you know, when you eat it, you'll be like, oh my God, what's that? What's that flavor?
Oh.
So we'll add up, it's just, how good does that smell?
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh
So,
my
and then we're gonna do our beautiful, can you pass me the lime? Yulia?
Absolutely.
And we're gonna do some zest. And that's it. That's easy. Very easy. And it's pretty and delicious. I love zest because it's just, do you smell the
Yes.
freshness?
All of it, like you added so many unexpected
things, but you know, that's
Magic.
what it's gonna make this
Magic
carrot
craft.
cake. Yes, very, very interesting. And we will have to make some quick noise for you guys here. We will stop talking for a second. Perfect. That was quick. Let me taste it. I think I want a little more. I'll put it all
Yuzu?
here. And a tiny bit of this.
More taste
Yeah.
of Japan.
More taste of Japan. And actually, I need a tiny bit of olive oil as well, because we want to combine those textures and flavors of olive oil into here. Very little bit. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So are you excited to decorate this now?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're gonna take a spoon, this one, and just spread on top of this delicious cake. Look how pretty it looks.
It's super pretty.
Yeah.
It was pretty before even.
Yeah.
But now it's also
It's gonna be even prettier.
Yeah.
Are you a frosting girl or not? Do you like cooking?
I like cooking and homemade frosting. I'm super excited for.
Right.
Not all of them,
Right. But
but
not.
this, even by the sound of it, this
It's
is
delicious.
not
And you know, you don't have to make it perfect. It could be rustic looking. It could be whatever, you know. It's homemade, it's beautiful, it's delicious. It's really easy to make, and it's really worthwhile. If you want to spend a little more time on making it perfect, of course you can. But I think it looks wonderful just like this. And I'm gonna zest a little bit more of this delicious and beautiful lime, because it gives that pretty color. Look at this color.
Yes.
How stunning it is.
It was rustic a second ago,
Yeah.
and now it's
Now it's
Michelin.
fancy. And we're gonna do this very pretty dehydrated carrots. How, and there's red carrots and there are regular carrots, which is
They look like flowers.
oh, that's pretty. My God, this is the most beautiful cake I've seen.
Yes.
And you know, Yulia, I've never made this. This is my first time, but I got excited so much about you as my guest and what you do, and made me, you know, create all this stuff.
Oh, I'm so grateful. This is.
And of course, you could also add some beautiful carrot leaves. Why not? Look how pretty this will look. It's stunning. And your cake is unique and gorgeous, and your kids and friends and everyone will love this pretty cake. Now, I feel bad to cut this, but we will have to do that. So you can go crazy here.
Oh,
How pretty is this cake? Do you guys see it well? Yeah.
this is incredible.
So, if you hosted a dinner party, what would you cook and who would you invite?
I would invite many different people of different. I think I'm similar to you in this way, how you have your guests from all different kinds of industries,
Backgrounds, yeah.
but the ones that vibe with you. You
Yes.
know, so putting at the same table the people that just have similar energy and similar perception of what's worth in life. Like that's what I would do. So my dear people are from all over, but many of them are horse lovers for sure. Like it's a lifestyle. We united by the love for the horses.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what would you cook?
What would I cook? I love fish a lot of the time, but I mean, for a big table, I also like to make chicken, and I love baking. I do,
You
and
do?
I don't do it too much because I can't stop eating it.
Yeah, that's the problem. We try to keep in shape, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay. Everything is okay in balance.
Absolutely.
If you are balanced, you know, you should not eat the whole cake.
If
that's
you
all.
ride a horse every day, you can have a lot of cake.
Who do you prefer, people or horses?
I'm a rare person in our business that actually I love both equally.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's why I think I can be good for like therapy for people as well, because I really love people as well, and I love horses. And for me to combine them, it's my happiness. It makes my soul very happy.
So special. And what is your proudest moment
My
in
proud.
your horse journey?
You know, the proudest moment as an athlete, you know, as a trainer, it's one thing. As an athlete, like I rescued horses, which I'm happy about, found them good homes, put a lot of good horse people pairs together. There's a lot of that. But for myself as an athlete, because I have that competitive thing in me too, and maybe one day I'll end up in Olympics. That would be amazing. It's a big
I will
dream.
cheer for you, and
big dream.
let's put that affirmation into universe, and you should be there.
Yeah, thank you. So, one thing is to buy a very expensive horse that is already knowing the job, which is very expensive and like not possible for just anyone. Another thing that I'm doing sometimes is I'm taking horses that I can see their talent through, and then you spend years progressively making them stronger and growing that talent and potential into them. And so to take a horse that no one saw anything good about and to bring it to a certain high level, that's a proud moment for a horse trainer.
Of course, that is so cool. Wow. Do you have any exciting projects ahead? Any goals?
Plenty. I actually literally started my business here in Florida only like 2-3 months ago.
Oh, really?
And so I'm already starting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm starting my summer with a lot of students and a great positive feedback and a great team and a lot of exciting things are happening. Our main season is going to be November through March. So right now we're prepping, then we'll be competing and enjoying the scene. So building a good group of people and building an income and everything. It was a big step for me to start a business because when you work with the horses, people see the fancy part of it, but in reality, you have to wake up early. You have to work non-stop. There is no vacations. There is 6 or 7 days a week work.
Because you have the actual person, the
Yeah,
horse
yeah.
that is, dependent on you.
And as a trainer, you have so many of them. And so you cannot live for more than like 2-3
How many
days.
horses do you have?
Well, I own 2.
Okay.
And
And the barn?
And well, this barn already has a main trainer who's been there. So, for example, his business, that's more longer time already going. He has about, I would think, 22, and this is like an average number of a good trainer in our business. So you take care of 22 horses. People, like, of course, you have grooms who take physical care of them, owners of the horses, parents and families of those people who also come. It's a big thing to run, you know. So mine is just growing. We have my 2 horses, and this month we're starting already 3 people put their horses in my full care, full training.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is amazing. So already 5 there, plus the horses that I rent for lessons, and more happens every day. So
when you go to California, let me know. A mutual friend has actually horse sanctuary that she rescues. She has over 500 horses. I think you would enjoy that.
yeah.
So let's try this beautiful carrot cake. Let me cut it. And Yulia, here's a plate.
Yes.
We're gonna taste it together. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I haven't had dessert. I'm not a dessert person, but you know, homemade desserts are different. Look how pretty this looks. Look at
Oh
this
la la.
cake. Let's see
Perfection.
how gorgeous is
How
this.
gorgeous.
Okay, go for it.
Me.
Yes, you start. I'll take another bite.
I feel like I should make a wish because
Make a wish.
I'll
make
make
a wish.
Well, let's make it a
I
celebration.
made a wish for you.
You did?
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, with all the magic you put in it. So happy.
Okay, cheers.
Okay. Cheers. It's so fluffy. Fluffy is the right word.
Fluffy,
Moist.
fluffy, not overly sweet.
And that's what I like about carrot cake.
Yeah, that is not overly sweet.
And
There's a lot of nice textures there going on, and it's so beautiful and happy. It's a happy cake.
And the olive oil and rosemary.
Delicious. Thank you, Yulia, for being here. Thanks for this ride that we had together with you. It was a very special one. I admire you so much for what you do. It's such a beautiful, incredible thing. And as a female, it makes me proud for another female for all your achievements. And you go get it and you do something that is so powerful and special. Thank you for that. Cheers to you. And before we say goodbye, I want you to take this bouquet for your beautiful horses. Bring it with you. I'm sure they're going to enjoy this.
They're going to love it. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.